Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Land Bodybuilding, Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you about a few different ways to use and exercise. This sounds like a boring subject, but it's going to clear up a lot of the misunderstandings that people have around some of the things I do. And one example of this would be with the shoulder press. And some people are like, why aren't you locking out, or why aren't you going down lower? They'll look at my range of motion and wonder why I'm doing what I'm doing when it comes down to shoulder presses. And the main reason why I'm doing a shoulder press, which is front delt heavy, meaning I'm concentrating the stress on the front delts. And once I feel the stress leave the front delts, then I come back down again, is because the first reason why I'll do shoulder presses is to hit the anterior deltoid and to stress that in order to get some adaptation. But there's another way that you can use a standing shoulder press, and that is for the postural muscles, or to make sure that your external rotator cuff muscles are keeping the elbows externally rotated all the way through the movement. And this now is more a rehabilitative reason to use the shoulder press. So here you can see I've done a pre-exhaust set of some external rotator cuff stuff with the elastic bands. And then I went to some bent over laterals. So I'm pre-exhausting the entire rotator cuff as well as the rear delt. And then I go to some light shoulder presses in order to access or to exhaust those external rotators and rear delts even more. So external rotators more than the rear delt, but also the postural muscles. So on purpose now, I'm actually using the upper trap. I'm trying to basically make sure that the shoulder and the scapula is pulled backward as I'm shoulder pressing. Now, this is also a standing shoulder press. But if I only did shoulder presses this way, because that's the first thing people would say, is why don't you just do it the correct way all the time? The truth is that then my postural muscles or my traps would always be the weak link, and my front delts would never get challenged, or not challenged close to as much as if I used heavier weight with this other refined range of motion. So you see, each technique is right. It's just a matter of one has a different purpose than the other. And so a lot of times you guys might be stuck with limited equipment and you're doing the same, supposedly at least, same exercise for a muscle group. But the truth is that there are ways to perform the exercise for different purposes. One could be for strength mainly. Another could be for refining a certain aspect of the range of motion to hit a certain muscle more so than the others. And other times you could be using it like a yoga to stretch a certain muscle group out a little bit more than you would want if you're using heavier weight. So remember that an exercise is not always just an exercise. There are a number of different ways to use that tool in order to achieve different goals. And that's really what I wanted to outline today. So from doing this, I found it was more of a heavier posture / rear delt workout, which will not only help your shoulder integrity, but also help you become stronger in your pressing movements, because we all know that if your rotator cuff is not strong, and if you're not working those external rotators or the retractors of the spine, that your shoulder then starts to take much more stress than needed. So yeah, play around with this. Like, you might want to do some pre-exhaustion with the rear delts and with the rotator cuff, and then move into a pressing movement like a standing shoulder press. But just do lighter weight and work on just perfect form to make sure that you're getting this elbow underneath the hands the whole time, and that the body gets used to firing that rotator cuff at the same time as handling the weight through a certain line of motion. So yeah, guys, I hope this helped you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturallandbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the page supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.